Hi everyone. So thank you for joining us back. Today is our last session on acquiring data, and we have Sheena and CV with us for this. So today we will talk more about assessment, and to just give a heads up on where so far. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and where are we exactly? So we should be ideally here somewhere certification. We should have taken mock assessment by today, and whatever Sheena says today should help you in passing the assessment. I believe she will give you some tips, but we were just having a discussion before this, and idea that everybody has is that you have to install the Jupyter notes and do some exercises to even attempt the exam. Otherwise, obviously, it will be difficult for you. So I have Sheena's photo here, and it just got. So here is Sheena, and she's part of application development specialist in AI team of Accenture, and she has been doing machine learning and AI for last 4 years. And you have been listening to her. Maybe one or two or three or four of you are new, so you know her now by now. And here we are. So on 17th, we plan to do a ceremony for all of you who have got certified NASCOM assessment, and we hope you pass. If you haven't given it so far, then attempt it after this session. I think this session should help you passing that exam. So I'll just hand it over back to Sheena, and we will take it from there. Sheena, over to you.
Thank you, Anjana. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. So here we are today with the third session. And some of you may be here who are joining for the first time, while, some of you may have joined the earlier sessions also. So the way we will keep it is that I will try to give you an overview again of what the primary points in the course are and what you should be focusing on for clearing your assessment. And for those of you who are joining for the first time, and even for those of you who have joined us earlier, if there are any queries or any doubts that you have, you please feel free to ask. You can put it in the chat window. So let me start by talking about what we had covered in the last two sessions that we had. We had primarily covered about the tool that we have to use for doing the hands-on. So the two tools that we talked about and we presented a demo was Jupyter Notebook and Google's Colab. So today, if there are any participants who are not sure about how they should proceed with the hands-on, who are not aware about how to work with Jupyter or Google's Colab, you can let me know in the chat. And if you all are aware and familiar with those things, maybe we can move on to with our session and talk about something further. Okay, so I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. Feel free to put your questions there. So I'll proceed with the course overview once for everyone and talk about the primary points that we have in the course. So I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, it is, Sheena.
It's visible.
Okay, so this course has 4 modules. We have talked about this earlier also. The course introduction is the first video which will give you a broad overview of what the course has. Now, if we talk about introduction to data, this will actually give you a theoretical overview of what data is, and then what are the different sources, different formats in which the data can exist. And then, it will talk about big data, where it comes from, what are the different frameworks. So I would say this is pretty easy actually as compared to the other modules which have some coding in them. This is like if you just go through the videos very carefully and you note all the points that are introduced in the video, I think you should be able to sail smoothly through this one. Okay. So for those of you who are coming from non-technical backgrounds, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing that a non-technical person can't understand, right? Data, we all know. We have been using this word. It's a part of our daily vocabulary now, right? It's nothing new to any one of us, I'm very sure. Now, big data is something, as the name suggests, that because there is so much data being generated every second by every person, because, we have our smartphones with us, we are interacting with the digital world so much. So, at every stage of our interaction, we are actually creating new data. So, the data is becoming huge, and that's why the term big data. It's just as simple as that. Now, because the data is becoming so huge, we have to, talk about new ways to store that data, new ways to manage that data, and new ways to, gather insights from big data. Okay, so that's why, this term has come into picture, because there is something that has to be done differently with the data because it has grown so much in volume, right? So that's about big data. And if you go through these videos, you will get some more insights into what are the technical terms associated with big data, what are the different definitions that you should be aware of, and so on and so forth. So I think this is the easiest one. You should be able to go through this without any problems. Okay, and there is no coding or hands-on involved in this one, so this should be easy. Now, second module onwards, we are talking about, what are the different types of data, and then we also talk about what are the different problem statements that we can encounter when we are trying to analyze data, right? So before you are actually analyzing the data, you should be aware of what you're trying to find out. So that's, what is your objective of solving the problem when you're using data. So that is something that we have focused on upon in this module, because it is actually very important. You can't just go on processing your data without any objective in mind, because the way you process data actually depends on what objective you have in mind. So that's what has been talked about or has been discussed here in this module. Okay. Feature selection is something that goes into a little more technical details of data processing. Okay, so features of a data, like suppose we have data about a person. So the different features can be what is the age of that person, or what is the geographical location of that person, or what other points that you can have about that person. Those are the different features of your data. And we must have seen data in the form of rows and columns, right? So to put it in a very, very easy way, we can say that the features are the different columns that we have in our data. Okay, the different dimensions that we have about our data. So, this module is all about that. And then this hands-on is also the easiest hands-on in the course, I would say, because if you are through with these two videos, then this hands-on should be a cakewalk for you. Okay, there's no coding involved. You are just asked to look at a data set, and then you are asked to identify what are the different types of data which is there in the data set, and then certain questions related to this. But it's like it's based only on these two videos. So if you are carefully watching these videos end to end, then there should be no problem with doing this hands-on. Okay, and then we have an MCQ which will further help you assess what you have learned and how well you have learned it. Okay, so these two modules, I think it's like very smooth. There should be no issue, and I will encourage you to go through these two videos, attempt the hands-on, attempt the MCQs, and then finish these two modules at least at a very fast pace. Okay.
Sheena, Virender is asking about hands-on. What is hands-on? Hands-on means. So, you might
Okay.
want to tell him. Yeah.
All right. So, hands-on is something in which you have to practice. Okay. So, when you are listening to videos, you are not using your hands, right? Just using your ears, your eyes. So, hands-on is something in which you should use your hands and you should do the actual work.
Right.
So, in other words, it's
Right.
just assignment or practice. Okay. Or
Right.
application-based things. Okay. That's hands-on.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so once we are done with these two modules, we are done with 50% of our course, right? Now we move to the next module. Okay, so from this module onwards, we start with some coding. and Python is a prerequisite, I would say. But if you are not, you do not know Python, you are like entering into the world of Python for the first time, then also no issues, because these videos are actually explaining things in great detail, and I don't think there should be any problem when you are watching the videos and applying the concepts which are being covered in those videos to the application or to the practice exercise and further on with your assignment. If you have any problems, for those of you who have actually gone through these videos, attempted the exercises, if you still feel that there is some gap, you let us know on the chat. We'll try to address that. Okay, if there are any doubts that you have encountered so far. Okay, so here, see, it says working with data frames. Okay, what are data frames? For someone who has not heard of this word, it may sound a little unfamiliar, but data frame is a very simple table which has rows and columns and which stores your data. Okay, and when we use this data in Python, we call it a data frame. Okay, so it is a data structure which holds your data in the form of rows and columns. And why do we create a data frame out of the data? Because after we have created the data frame, Python actually provides us lots of inbuilt functions which can help us to modify and perform operations on that data set. If you do not convert your data set into a data frame, you won't be able to use Python's functionalities which it offers for modifying and manipulating and analyzing your data. Okay, that's why we have something known as a data frame. Data frame, again reiterating, it is just a data structure which holds your data. Okay, and working with data frame, part one covers the theoretical aspects of data frames, and part two also covers the theoretical aspects. And this demo videos that we have, they will actually help you to navigate your way through the programming which is related to these data frames using Python. All right. So you go through these videos. This will take a little bit of time because there are finer details involved. And if you are doing this for the first time, you're coming across data frame for the first time, then obviously you'll take some time to grasp these concepts. And if maybe you won't get everything in the first attempt, but if you repeat this video, if you don't understand anything, and I think you should be through, because we have 4 videos which just focus on how data frames work in Python, right? So I would encourage you to pay a lot of attention to these data frame part of this module. Okay, and you should think in broader terms, like data frame is not something that is just important for you for this course. It's not for this course only. It's not just for you to clear the assessment. If you are interested in working with data and working with Python, then data frame will come in very handy for you. I mean, this is the basic building block that Python offers, and you should actually try to learn data frame very well. And I would say, maybe once you are done with these videos, maybe you can also look at external documentation and other things if you are interested to learn more, because it is such an important part of the data science in Python. All right, so we have okay, now coming to this hands-on, see, there would be finer details involved. Attempting this hands-on would require you to install Jupyter Notebook or to work with Google Colab. And there are final details involved. I would say there are a number of instructions, okay, which are detailed in this hands-on that the participant should follow to actually understand what the instructor is trying to convey. Okay, see, it's not like videos and hands-on are not mutually exclusive, right? Sometimes the courses are so designed that the hands-on actually tries to teach you a new concept. Okay, so if you are just paying attention to the videos and not paying attention to the hands-on, then you might miss learning certain important things. Okay, so when you first open the hands-on, you may see a lot of instructions and it may seem that I don't want to do all this. Maybe I have learned the videos and that's enough for me, but that's not enough. These hands-on are the most important part of this whole course. Okay, so please follow every instruction very minutely, very carefully, and give time to attempting these hands-on so that you are able to take the full advantage of what the instructor is trying to tell you through these hands-on. Okay, so I think
Sheena,
this
there
will
is
be,
one question that
yeah.
ma'am tell about different ways of creating data frames like list of list. And he's saying that till now we've only discussed CSV file. So if you can talk about the list and
See, okay, different ways of creating data frames like lists of lists. Okay, so yeah, there are different ways of creating data frames from the data. Yeah, we have talked about CSV files only till now. All right, so maybe what I will do is I will share some documentation with you where we have data frames creation from not just list of lists, but other kind of data also, like dictionaries and other things that come into picture. And okay, this question is from Ram Babu Nakka. So have you gone through these videos, and are they talking about creating data frames from lists of lists or not? Just let me know that. Okay, because if I remember correctly, they talk about different ways to create data frames. All right, so if they are not talking about it, I will provide you some resources from where you can actually see how to create data frame from list of lists or from dictionaries or from other data structures as well. There are multiple types in working with data frames. That is how pull the data in different ways. Okay, so we have talked about fetching data from CSV files only. Yeah, we have talked only about that in our session so far, but I remember telling you that CSV is not the only form that exists when you are trying to import your data. So for those of you who have actually gone through some part of the course or who have attended previous sessions, they must be knowing that when we are importing data from CSV files, the function that we use is pd dot read underscore CSV, right? Read underscore CSV must be familiar to you. That is the first step in each assignment, I must say. So if you want to know what are the different other formats that we can use to source our data into a data frame, it's very simple. Just do this read underscore and you press enter. Okay, and write here pd dot so that we get pandas only. Now you see the first link that turns up, it tells me about read underscore CSV. So that is the most common representation. But here you can see other formats also. For example, here we have pandas dot read underscore Excel. So if you have an Excel file instead of a CSV file, this function can be used just in the same way. Just replace CSV with Excel. Okay. Or if you have JSON, you can just simply replace CSV with JSON. So the syntax remains same. Just keep replacing whatever the format of your data is in this function here. In place of Excel, we put CSV or JSON or whatever different formats we are trying to import data from. All right. Oh, so I hope my screen shows that pandas window, right?
yeah, that it shows how to convert file types if you want. And there is one more question.
Okay.
How, Madhav, this is a long he has asked three questions. How we check for consistency in duration or dates present in dataset? Is it good to drop or delete null values? How NaN is a float type? So three questions.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay, so how we check for consistency in duration or dates present in the data set. So we have, I will talk about what this date format is. So it's like if in a data set you have a column that is having data which is related to dates or time. Okay, so when you import that data into your data frame, it will not always have the data type as date time, right? And when we don't have that data format, then what happens is that there are certain functionalities that Panda provides specifically for date time data type. You won't be able to use those functionalities until you have converted your column to date time data type. So when you have date time data in your data set, it should ideally be converted to date time data type so that you are able to use the functionalities offered by Pandas for date time data type. So what are the functionalities offered by Pandas for date time data type? So what it offers you, that you can find the number of days between two dates. Okay. But if you don't have the correct data type for the date data, then you won't be able to, because then Pandas won't know that you are talking about dates. If you try to subtract it, it will give you an error. But if you have converted it to the right data type, that is the date time data type, so then if you try to subtract two values, it will actually show you the number of days between two dates, or it can also show you other information depending on what functions you use. So we have talked in detail about those functions in our course in the demo videos. Okay, you must have seen that. Now the question, how we check for consistency in duration or dates present in the data set. So when you have a data set which has date time data, you should check the data type of that column which has date time data. And if the data type is not reflecting as date time 64, then you should convert it to date time 64. And we have mentioned in the course how to do that. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. If not, maybe you can try rewording your question for me again, please. Okay, is it good to drop or delete null values? All right. So, see, this is a very good question. This is an excellent question. I'm sure the person who's asking that question, I can only see the initials essay. You have very carefully studied these things. So this is this is application dependent. If you have null values in your data set, the easy way, I would not say the optimal way, but the easy way out is that you delete or drop them, but not every time. Why? Because if you delete your null values, suppose we have a data set which is in the form of rows and columns, and certain column has a lot of null values, and if you drop those null values, what happens? The values in other columns also get dropped, because the whole row will get dropped. Okay, so try to understand this like I have a table in which one column has null values. If I drop the null values, the entire rows also get dropped, whichever are associated with that column which has null values. So what are we doing here? We are deleting the data, right? We are losing important information. Just because one column had null value, you had to delete the other columns also. And that is not a good thing to do in every case. Okay. So for example, you have a data set which has 100 rows. Okay. 100 is very small number. We do not have such lengths. We have bigger data sets when it comes to practical applications. And I think a 100-row data set won't ever yield you any good analysis. But just for example, I'm saying we have a 100-row data set. And in those 100 rows, there are say 5 missing values in a certain column. Okay. So if you drop those 5 values, you still have 95% of the data set with you. Okay. So in that case, it's okay to drop null values. But if you have a data set which has 100 rows and there is a column in there which has, suppose, say 30 null values, and you say that, okay, let me drop the null values. So you are actually losing 30% of your data, right? So it's not always good to drop null values. We won't say that, it's always ideal. It may be ideal in some cases, but not in others. So what do we do when you should not drop null values? Then what do we do if not drop them? We try to replace them. Okay, we try to assume some good values to replace our null values with. For example, there is a column and in there are null values. So what can be a good estimate for the null value? Maybe mean. You can take the mean of that column and replace that mean in all the null values. Okay, so that will help you make an assumption, and maybe your assumption is close to correct, right? Mean is a good estimate in some cases. So you can do that, but not always. Suppose your column has a lot of outliers, right? Outliers, if you are aware of, outliers are those values which are very, very different from all the other values in the data set. For example, there's a class of students and they all take an exam, and most of the students score somewhere around 70%, but there is a student who scores, say, suppose 30%. So that student's score is an outlier because it's very, very different from the rest of the data. Okay. And in this case, if there are, many outliers in your data and you try to take the mean, so the mean will be skewed, right? It will not be a correct representation of your data because you had outliers. You had data which was not an, general representation of what the other data looked like. Right. So, replacing missing values is another field of study in itself. You can use other estimates, like you can use median, you can use mode. You can also, try fitting some line and try to estimate values on that line whenever they are missing. So, this is a whole different analysis. But yes, to precisely answer it, not always good to drop null values. Okay. Try to replace them whenever possible. Okay. Now coming to your third question, how NaN is float type. So, this is from Python. Python has actually assigned this NaN as float data type. And if you want to check it, you can actually check the data type of NaN values. And when you do that, you will find that it comes out to be float. So, this is by design. This is included in Python by design. Okay. There is no like science behind it, why it is float and why it is not integer. This is something designed by Python for NaN values. Okay. Like it had to be assigned a data type, so they assigned it float. It's just, you can understand it in this way. Okay. Does null consider as 0 or else? So 0 is not considered a null value in ideal case. Null values are only 2 by design in Python. They are NaN, that is not a number, and none, None, none. Okay. If you go through the course, I think it talks about these two very clearly, very specifically, and how these data types can actually create problems because they are float data type. Okay. 0 is not a null value. Okay, so Anjana, maybe you would like to take this question, that a person has completed the course but can't find mock assignment and final assessment for certification.
I'll just paste the link. I don't think that should be an issue. I'll just paste the link here.
No, so Aniket, which one did you take? AWS?
AWS or acquiring data. I hope you know this is acquiring data.
Acquiring data, you should be able to. Anjana is placing the link. It should directly take you to the mock. Acquiring data, that's somebody else. Aniket also acquiring data. It should be there.
Okay, I'll paste the link. If you have completed the course, then you should be able to get to the mock.
And if you're still not able to, Anjana, place that what's that that Zoom link for tomorrow.
Yeah, but you should have completed. Okay, sometimes people don't complete because some video is left incomplete, so it doesn't take you further. Okay. Sorry, Shin.
All right. So I see another question. What is the best way to work on Excel tables with multiple rows of headers, merged cells, and few blank header cells? So are you talking about importing this Excel sheet into a data frame and then working with it? If that is your question, then there is a way in which you can customize the header. So if you do not think the header is appropriate, there are multiple rows of headers, then you can skip those multiple rows and you can provide your own header to your data set while importing itself in the read_CSV function as a parameter. Okay, so this is open, so maybe I'll show you where. You see this parameter names is equal to, so this will help you set custom headers for your data. Okay, you give names is equal to whatever column names you want as a list. So if you go down, see names, and the description reads list of column names to use. Okay, and once you specify this, it will use these names as header for your files, and you can use skip rows to skip the header which is already there. Okay, few blank header cells is also covered with that. Merge cells, I'm not sure, maybe you should try to unmerge those cells before you are importing your data. Yeah, or maybe you can try importing that data and then try to edit your data frame. I'm not sure how this will work, so maybe this is something you can try. Okay, I don't see any more questions on the chat for me. So maybe I'll proceed with the course overview that we were doing. Screenshots, not sure.
No, so I think people are confused here. If you talk screenshot is for AWS for acquiring data. Once you complete the course, then you automatically reach the mock assessment. So now if you're not able to reach the mock assessment, that could be because you have not clicked on a video, you've not completed the video. Sometimes this happens because the video on the top set completed. Even though you've
Let's take
been
one of them and see, Anjana. Can we do? We have few.
can we do it towards the end so that Sheena
Yeah,
finishes? Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Otherwise, it will just. Yeah.
Sure. So just be ready. Whoever has this problem, please be on a laptop so that you can share the screen with us and show it. Towards the end, we will we'll try and solve the problem for you. I have placed another 2 links, which are the marketplace link. If the one that Anjana has pasted doesn't work, try this as well. Yeah, Sheena.
Okay, we can go back to the course if there are no more questions specifically. Okay, and if there are any, please feel free to ping. Okay, meanwhile, we'll just go through the different topics that we have. Okay, so data frames, we were saying they are like very, very crucial, and try to, give it time and attention so that, you take the most out of it. Okay, then comes the metadata part of it. This is like very, very simple. Metadata is nothing. It's just information or data about your data set. Okay, so just imagine you have a repository or a storage location, I must say, where you have a lot of data sets. Okay, and all you can see is the file name. Okay, you can't see any other information about your data set. So if somebody wants to search for a specific data set, how would they do it? They'll have to go through each data, or try to find what are the number of rows, what are the number of columns, what does the data talk about. So that's not something that should be done, right? That's not the way it should be done. So that's why we have metadata, where we have data about the data, or the data which describes your data. So metadata talks about what is the data about, who collected it, when did the person collect the data, then what are the different number of rows and columns that we have in our data. Okay, so I think it's a pretty simple concept, and I'm sure if you go through the video, you go through the demo, you should be able to do it very, very easily. It's like very easy. All right. So with this, we have completed 3 modules, and going to the last one, we have this introduction to data validation. So, it's like data validation talks about whether the data that we are using is error free, and whether it is the right data that we actually intended to use in the first place. Okay, so we have an introduction to data validation. Go through this, and things will become very clear to you. This is a concept based video. Then we have these demo videos, which will actually help you go through the important parts of data validation when you import your data as data frames. Okay, so this is the one video which has been broken down into 2 parts, so that it's easier for participants to go through it. And then we have an associated hands-on. Again, this hands-on, you will find it to be more towards the programming side, and maybe you will feel that there are a lot of instructions, and it may be difficult for some of you, but if you have paid good attention to the demo videos, I think you should be able to go through the hands-on very smoothly. The demo videos also cover a good part of the programming. Okay, so to crack the programming part of this course, these 2 demo videos are very, very essential. Have patience, try to do yourself whatever the instructor is doing in the demo video. So what is a demo video? We have a Jupyter notebook, and we are running you through that Jupyter notebook. So we have a notebook which has code, and we are actually running that code, showing you the result and talking about why that result has come, and what are the different other things that is related to that code. So it's like very, very important for you to watch these demo videos carefully in order to understand the programming aspect of this course. So again, these two I would say are very, very important. Okay, pay attention here. And even if you are new to Python, this will be very, very easy because somebody is running the code and explaining the results. So, what else? Like, there is no gap here. I think so. All right. So, hope this will help you. And that's pretty much from my side. For attempting the assessment, again, I will tell you not to skip any part of the course. Okay, pay attention, try to get your hands dirty with that. When you are like looking at the demo video, don't just watch it. Okay, open a Jupyter notebook, pause the video, write the code that you see in the video into your actual notebook, run the code, see your result, match if it matches with the result which is being shown in the video, and try to understand what the instructor is trying to convey about the result. I think it will be a very good learning curve for all of you. Okay,
We
so
can
there are more
open up
questions.
for questions. Yeah. So just a minute. So AWS, please don't ask here. Okay. So Sheena will be like, I'm going. So please make use of her presence for
No,
your
just the
acquiring.
link we'll put. We'll put
Yeah.
the link. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll put the link for you all, but this is, make use. You have like 20 minutes and we would like to open it up for question. If you have any questions regarding acquiring data, anything, and you think you're not able to write so much, because so much of typing, you can raise your hand. I'll unmute you and you can ask that question, and maybe it will also help others. So, yeah. I'll put the AWS and all of those links separately, guys. I'll put it here, but this is for acquiring data. You have any questions related to the test, anything related to data sets, anything related to the course, anything that you did not understand, you can ask her and she will be, helping you in that.
Also, this is the last session that we have, so maybe you should make good use of this opportunity.
How many times we can attempt test? 2 times. Okay. No, you don't have to code in Jupyter Notebook. I think you have to remember the steps. As in, what it takes to.
No, it's more like there will be some 2-3 lines of code given, and what will happen when you run it? What is the output? That's how the questions are.
Right. The questions are more action oriented, guys. Okay, so you have to do them, until and unless, like Sheena mentioned, until and unless you get your hands dirty with the data and you do it, on your laptop, on your PC, wherever you have downloaded this application. Okay, you won't get the logic set in your mind. Okay, so to get your logic set in your mind, you have to do it. It's like simple maths, right? It's like simple maths. Other subjects, remember, in schools and colleges, other subjects we would cram them and we would remember them, but maths you couldn't cram, right? You couldn't cram it, right? You have to you have to solve the sum and then you would remember it for the rest of your life. So same is for this also. You need to do a little bit of hands on. You need to do a little bit of practice, and then you would remember it. And it's pretty easy. In Python is pretty easy. It's not very typical syntax, which is in the form of other very formal programming languages. The syntax is also very English based, so it's easy for everybody to understand. So and that's how it is. That's why it is it is easy even for somebody who comes with a non-technical background, right? And there have been good amount of people who have done this successfully. They have successfully cleared the assessment. So it's all about being in it at once, at one time, with your full 100% concentration, attention, understanding, and then you move on. It'll be easy for you. Yeah.
We have Jagdish also. He cleared, I think. Jagdish got silver, or yeah, I think so.
Okay, congratulations.
Bronze. So we have
Good,
Smita here sitting already on the
good,
panel.
good.
That's great.
Yeah, Jagdish, why don't you go ahead and talk? And
Yeah, you should share
Anjana,
your
yeah,
experience.
Yeah, I'll just
Anjana, why
unmute.
don't you
Yeah,
unmute him and Jagdish, go ahead, talk about it. Yeah?
yeah.
Talk
So I'm
about it to
just
your fellow uh, students, fellow learners who are listening to you right now. Give them some tips.
Jagdish, you'll have to unmute yourself. I have,
And if mic is not working for you, you can type it. It's okay.
Yeah.
would you like to share your experience, because there are a lot of people who are going to take this assessment,
Yes.
and if you share, maybe all of them will pass marginally, 1 or 2 marks here and there, and it will make a difference.
Yeah,
Hello.
it's
Hello, ma'am.
hey
Can you hear
Jagdish.
me? Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, it cleared the exam day before yesterday. And that
Perfect.
I had a basic knowledge. I had a basic knowledge on data analysis and all. On the things that I update to as far in data, I had some coding experience. But the code is very helpful for beginners and from the beginning to the end. Whatever step we need to learn, what is the basic, how we need to do coding, simple coding in Python, how to do data, how to import the data, how to do filtering, how to do form cleaning the data and all. That are the things we learn very well. And then in the exam also, it is not that much difficult, but the thing is, concept, if we don't understand the concept, we can't write the exam. That is the main thing. You need to understand the concept, you need to understand the logic. When doing the demo videos, they're giving the, they're explaining the logic.
Yeah.
Dictionary, written, variables, numpy, all the things they will explain the logic. In the exam, they will give the logic. Okay, if this is the logic, which transition we need to use. If transition, a numpy transition, a pandas transition, which transition we need to use to import the data. Which transition we need to use to extract the files. Right, that the routine will be there. That is the thing when we are learning the code. If you understand the concept, if you understand the logic, it is easy. Some general questions are there, basic general questions related to big data, what is big data, how that works, what is the storage type, that all type of questions are there. Overall experience is good. I learned the new things and I know basics of data analysis. When coming to opting this course, I learn about big data basic to advanced level and this all things. That is my, that is good.
Thank you,
Good.
Jagdish, for
Great.
sharing that.
It
Yeah.
was really
Many
nice hearing you.
congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, good. I hope, everybody was able to take away some points from what Jagdish said. Okay. Just make sure that you go through those hands-on very carefully. Okay. You understand the logic, understand the concept, and that is what, will be there for to be tested of you in the assessment. Okay. Good, good. Congratulations, Jagdish, once again.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Thank you.
Jagdish, for
Thank you for
sharing that.
sharing.
Sir, one thing, once we, now we,
Yeah,
hello?
yeah, sir.
Yes,
Jagdish, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, now we completed this course. What is we want to do advancement, what we need to learn. Otherwise, with this course, how we can move forward. There's any roadmap or suggestions, sir?
What's the next course to learn is what he's asking. Once you're done with this, what would you suggest him to learn?
All right. So, Jagdish, do you have some knowledge about how machine learning works? Like, have you read about it?
Yes, ma'am. I have some
Yeah.
knowledge on machine learning algorithms and AI.
Okay. And deep learning? How about that?
Deep learning I see, but I never did practice. I learned deep learning, neural network, computer vision. That's all I had some idea.
Okay. 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 Okay, so let me share one resource with you. Okay, I'll put it in the chat and maybe you'll find it a little advanced. If that happens, then it's okay. No, don't need to worry, but maybe that will serve as a good material for you to, go forward in your journey. And there are, some good blogs. Have you heard about Towards Data Science? That's a blog website.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, toward data
Yes.
science, I have blog. Medium is a blog
Yeah.
I used to follow.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. And so you have done the course. You also know about Kaggle now, right? So you can,
Yes.
also take part in Kaggle competitions. I think that also helps to skill your programming skills very well, very fast also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll shortly share a link with you. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
maybe you can go ahead with that.
Ma'am,
All right.
okay. With this
Mhm.
tilt, it can get drop. It can apply for a drop. What tilt are required to get into this field?
What things are required to get into this field? Okay. So
Means
I
for
think.
job as per job requirement, because we having only basic knowledge.
Mhm.
With the basic knowledge, we get into job means somewhat difficult.
Yes. So, okay. See, what is required in a job is skills which can be applied to solve some real problems. Okay, because
Yes.
people give you job when you can actually solve problems for them. So that is what is required. So a good balance of concept and programming, I would say.
Yes. Okay.
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 All right. Very nice talking to you, Jagdish.
Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing information.
Okay.
Cool. Do we have anybody else?
I think I don't know if others have joined who have passed, but others are yet to. Some people are yet to take it. So it's only Jagadish I see here.
All right. Not an issue.
Chiranjeevi is right. Chiranjeevi.
Chiranjeevi has.
Yeah, he has also completed.
Has Chiranjeevi, have you completed? I'm just letting you talk. Have you completed the assessment of acquiring data? I've put you on speaker. You allowed to talk. If you want to unmute yourself and talk.
Yeah. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah. So
Yes,
Bharti.
we can hear you.
Acha, Bharti is also there. After this, Bharti, you can speak.
Yeah, I finished the course, but I have a certificate for the course completion, but mock test I need to finish it off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to do that. Yes. Do
Yeah.
that. Do that. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Bharti has scored gold. So Bharti will be speaking now.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. I'm Bharti, and I've completed my course 3-4 days before, and I really enjoy doing it because I'm teaching this Pandas part in my class 12th also. So it was really a very good experience for me. All the videos and all the hands-on experiences, and even the demo version part of the course, that was really helpful to me. And working on the Jupyter, as I've been teaching to the students also. So it was very much interesting for me, and I really enjoyed the course. And of course, anyone who can just go through the whole material, it is very wisely made. The flow of information is so nice that you just engross into the information, and whatever we are learning from the video, we can actually try it in when we are working on a Jupyter. So working the practical side by side, it really helped me a lot. And if you do that way, if you do it in a systematic way, of course, then assessment is nothing for you. It's really simple to, very easy to do the assessment because the course is very well designed. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity so that I could do this course. And I really enjoy doing it. Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Bharti. That's an
We are
awesome
very
feedback.
glad to
Brilliant.
hear such
Yes.
positive reviews.
Yeah, thank you,
Great.
ma'am. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a very well framed course.
Perfect.
And of course, I would like to do much more into this only. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thanks.
Thanks,
So Bharti,
Bharti.
you have cleared your certification, like you have
Yes.
cleared the assessment. So nice.
Yes.
Many
got
gold badge.
congratulations.
Yeah, she's
Thank you.
got gold.
Wow.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Brilliant.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bharti, are you a CBSE teacher?
CBC, what, ma'am?
No,
Teacher.
are you a teacher?
Yeah, I'm teaching I'm teaching for the last 25 years. I'm taking class 11th and 12th.
Okay.
and teaching
So do you
computer
think
science.
this will fit your kids also? I mean, students, probably the 12th graders.
Actually, the portion of that pandas and data frames, that's a part of my syllabi in class 12. So I can, and then CSV files and handling Excel files in data pandas. So that's all part of my syllabi. So I really enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
So that metadata and everything I'm teaching in the class. So I really enjoyed this course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It was
Thank
nice hearing your experience, Bharti, and thank you for sharing with us.
Mr. Bhujan, are you on the line? Bhujan?
He is also, I think, not done the assessment, Muthu.
And Rajeshwari ma'am.
Rajeshwari, yeah, she's done it, but is she here? I don't think so. So, yeah.
Vikram, are you there?
No, he's also not here. So I think people who have taken assessment, some of very few people are here, and out of them, we fairly asked them the question. So that also tells us about various aspects of it. No, so it's nice to hear from multiple people who have like bronze, gold, and obviously Smita is there with silver. So we cover the whole spectrum. We just need to ask somebody who's failed, how was it? So anyone volunteering, I don't want to name. So if you want to volunteer and ask, tell what should somebody not do. So, or what are the areas you should be prepared. If you want to, tell it to everybody else so that they are also prepared.
Don't skip any videos. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't skip any hands-on. Watch all the videos. Watch all the hands-on properly.
Or
Yeah.
maybe don't sleep while you are listening to the videos. That's what
Right.
happens sometimes. You feel you've
Yeah.
completed it, but you've not
Right.
heard through it.
Right.
Yeah, see, I heard a lot of people saying that the mock was very easy, but the assessment was tough. So I failed in the mock itself. That was a wake-up call. So had to
Yes.
go back and certain videos, and I didn't
Right.
go hands-on at the revision, but I did go through the most of the videos.
Right. Take it that way, guys. Okay. So, just prepare yourself well. Okay. Have all the concepts clear, and then, go for the final shot. Yep.
So we are almost there. I think since we've been having the Accenture team for such a long time, we have never thanked them, exclusively, and we've just taken the team for granted as an extended arm of ours. And so, yeah, as I think this is an occasion I would take, thank you, Sheena, and thank you, CV, for being there. And we would really like to look forward to you also attending our felicitation, where we'll only the people who have got the certification done, we will felicitate them on 17th of this month on Saturday, and we'll share an invite with you both also, and we would look forward to have you there and see people getting awarded. So thank you for walking so many people through the whole series. And there are people who every time come new. So overall, we've had 700 people attend the whole series. And it is wonderful that such a large number of people are interested in the subject. So you would like to say something, you, CB, and then,
Just one quick point, Anjana. So the Saturday session is for everybody who has reached at least the mock assessment stage. And if you passed or failed certification also, because we want to tell you that yes, but we would like as many people to attempt the assessment by then. Yeah. Over to you, Sri.
One more question from Srilata is there.
Yeah, Srilata is again someone who Srilata has scored a bronze, I think. Srilata has passed.
She has asked for what is the next step of acquiring data if you want to
Dive into Hive.
Another tools.
All right. So maybe what I'll do is, Anjana, there was one more question, right, which talked about how to create data frames from list of lists. So for that question, I will first, look at the videos that we already have, and if the videos don't cover that, I will share a, link for that, and I will also try to, give some material about Hive and what can be the good resources to learn that. Okay, so I'll share these two links with Anjana, and maybe Anjana can share it with the rest of the group.
You can also share some more material, maybe, which or people who are very enthusiastic about this data and all want to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
They can maybe pursue. We'll share it with the entire whoever attended the session, and it's up to an individual to pursue.
All right. Sure, Anjana,
Okay.
I will do that. Yeah.
Sure. Great. Good.
Put that
It was
WhatsApp group
nice.
link in case there is anyone, so that you folks, if you are having trouble, please join that WhatsApp group. We have a admin only WhatsApp group. Just put that, Anjana, so that they don't. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put the WhatsApp group for all the people to stay connected. We may soon migrate into some other medium because WhatsApp is getting very crowded for us. But yeah, we'll keep you informed.
Last question, anything? Assessment has 2 attempts is the question. It's
Yeah,
a little bit of a gray area. We don't know. You have 2 attempts. Whether you have to pay twice or not is something we'll come back to you on. There are 2 attempts. Yeah.
So someone has a hand raised. I think. Aditya, you want to talk? We have last 2 minutes. Would you like to ask something? I have you unmuted. I don't know if you raised it by mistake.
So, Anjana, there was a message that I intended to send to all the participants, but I'm noticing it only went to the host and panelists. So, how do I send it?
You have to put it to everyone.
Okay.
In the drop down.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. Okay. So, Jagdish, these are the links that I intended to paste for you, but I later noticed that it only went to the host and the panelists. So maybe you can make use of these. And there was one more link that I felt that will help you all, whoever want to learn further. So these are a few links that you may find useful to start your ML journey.
Right. And links being shared here, guys, are open to everybody. Okay.
Yes,
So all of you can click them. All of you can have a look at them and make use of them to the best of your knowledge. Yep.
So certificate will come to you, essay. I can't see your complete name. It will come to you. Certificate, the Accenture certificate will take some time, and NASCOM certificate, I think, will come if you pass. So then you'll get it immediately, I guess. So ready for assessment. So take the assessment, you will anyway get the certificate if you pass. So don't worry about the certificate. Right. So it's 600 rupees for everybody, and you'll get this money back if you pass. If you pass, that's the basic one. So thank you, CB. Thank you, Sheena. And thank you everyone for being a part of this whole journey. And we look forward to having you guys on 17. Thank you.
Oh, and we have a session tomorrow also. We'll clear a lot of
Only,
doubts.
yeah, only,
We'll have experts.
Yeah, not with the experts, but yeah, we guys can meet there.
Thank you, Sheena. Thank you, Phoebe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Smita.
you.
Thank you, Anjana.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
learners. All the very best.
Bye.
Good luck, everyone. Bye.